Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge. It's West Ham against Manchester United and it's an opportunity. Well, look, a lot of people are talking about 5 in a row. Some people are talking about head hair. I'm talking about Champions League football. I'm talking about 8-point gap against Liverpool who go to Sunderland tomorrow night. That's what I'm talking about because that's the thing that will impact us the most. Solidifying Champions League football, which will bring tens of millions of pounds of revenue into the club, which will stop us having these lazy weeks where we have nothing to do and will give us some excitement and prospect of bringing better players into the club. So that's what tonight's all about. Obviously, we're playing a West Ham side that are certainly fighting for their lives, third from bottom. A win for them would be very, very useful, of course, but I couldn't give a toss about West Ham either. What I care about is Manchester United and Manchester United winning. We can see the West Ham team on the screen. Chelsea have been playing for 17 minutes against Leeds. It's 0-0 there. We'll keep an eye on that one for you up until and during our kickoff as well. But interestingly, West Ham Nuno did speak about injuries. He's played the game a lot. I'm not big on Nuno's game. I didn't know Nuno played these types of games. There's the Man United team on the screen for you, but he has played a bit of a game, if we're being honest, because he has said that they had a load of injuries and they don't. So look, we're good enough to beat Manchester United we're good enough to beat West Ham without their injuries. So I'm not too fussed about that. It's not the end of the world. I don't know why. We need to sort this out again. This is just a joke. Every time I go live, it's messing around with what I want to do. There we go. Get rid of this shit about 8:15 p.m. kickoff. Nonsense crap. Sorry, I can't be doing with tech. Just can't be doing with it. Right, United team's on the screen there. Okay, hopefully that will pause for you as well. So the United team is unchanged. No Sesko, no Mazraoui. Some people might not be happy about that, but tell me your thoughts on the team. Graphics did disappear for a second, Ladios, but I've sorted it out now. It's raining here in London for that guy who asked, says Vision. Yes, well, I think it's stopped now because there's a female on T&T stood with Nicky Butt and Mikel Antonio and Karen Carney, and they've got no umbrellas up at the moment. So, look, I've played the game. I've actually played at West Ham. I've managed at West Ham. I don't think it's a very intimidating stadium because of the running track. They have got some interesting players. And I think that it will make for an interesting game. But I would expect Cunha, Mbeumo, Ahmad, Bruno to have the space to express themselves against West Ham. I think this comes down to quality, really. I think this comes down to conviction. I think this comes down to consistency. Look, it's funny, I was doing a video with Terry this morning and I said, look, I don't feel like this, but you could be like this. These players can't be trusted. You know, they're there gobbing off when they're winning games, but why haven't you been winning games for the last 3 years? Because they can turn the light on and off. I don't think the light's going to go off at the moment. I think they're enjoying the praise, and I don't think they're going to allow that to change at the moment. Bruno looks very driven. I can see him on the screen at the moment. So I just think we've got too much quality for West Ham, to be honest with you. Slow Sports News with a super chat. First one of the night says, Maguire is potentially signing a new contract. Great news. You wouldn't hear me saying that 3 years ago. Is it great news, though? Is it great news? We play with 2 centre-backs now, not 3. Do you want Harry Maguire starting at centre-back next season? I don't know. I mean, I think Maguire's done really well the last few weeks, but in a back 4, it terrifies me. It really does. I don't think he's up to it when it matters. I know that's a hard take, but I don't think he's a starting centre-back if it matters. I mean, look, then again, people could say, well, it's mattered the last 4 weeks, which is a fair point. And I'm not saying I'm right, but I just think what happens with Yoro, what happens with Heaven, like how is he stopping one of those players playing football, or is he just going to hang around as a bench player for experience? Maybe that's the plan. Will you be my Valentine's, Mark? Says Graham Souness. I've played the game. How are you feeling today, Mark? Says watching YouTube 4.2. I'm actually really bloody happy, if I'm being honest with you. I'm really bloody happy that we're playing a game of football midweek. I get so fed up of waiting from weekend to weekend for the next game, especially when you're winning. You just want to keep playing. I mean, it's a long break until the Everton game. So yeah, I'm just happy that we've got a game of football, and I'm really happy that we're playing ahead of Liverpool as well, because I think when you look at the league table, and I think I want to just show you that, when you look at the league table, it's such a great opportunity for us to score 3 points, go to 47 and be, 8 points ahead of Liverpool, because we're 5 at the moment, aren't we? So 8 points ahead of Liverpool is just such a great statement. It's such a great sentence, isn't it? So I think for me, that's the real positive of what we can achieve tonight. And look, I don't think West Ham are going to be easy, but you could argue that they are the easiest team we've had out of the 5 games. I certainly think Fulham, Spurs, well, maybe not Spurs, but it's away, isn't it? To be fair, Carrick has played 3 out of his 4 games at home. The Emirates was a great result. His next 2 games are away from home. So look, they offer a test. Would you rather have toes for fingers or fingers for toes, says Mr. Manic. I'll leave that to the chat. Evening Mark, evening legends. I want to see drive. I want to see ambition. I want to see passion, and I want to see fire. Bring it on, but I don't want to see Maguire given a contract. Let's have ambition, says Mike JW. Look, I think the plan with Maguire very, very quickly is probably to keep him around while how they kept Johnny Evans around. But if you know anything about Harry Maguire, he's not going to be happy to be a cheerleader. He's going to want to play. And that's my point. I get keeping Harry Maguire around for experience, but it completely and utterly misprofiles Harry Maguire. When has Harry Maguire ever been happy to sit on the bench and be a squad player? He wants to play. And if you're asking me, should Harry Maguire be starting as a centre-back in a back 4 next season? The answer is no. I don't think... I'm actually paying him a compliment. I don't think he wants to sit on the bench and be a cheerleader. I think he wants to play. And I don't think we should be using him as a centre-back next season. I'd hate to be West Ham. Get out the binoculars, says Slow Sports News. I appreciate your content, Mark, says Son. What would be your most exciting World Cup final matchup? England against Brazil. Easy. Thank you, son. And Laporta says, unrelated, I believe that signing Baleba would be a mistake solely due to the fact that Casemiro is leaving at the end of the season. Baleba could have at least learned from him, but now he wouldn't be able to, says Laporta. Thank you very much for your $10 super chat as well. You can do that through the $sign, and that would be fantastic. Keith says you should check Chelsea's next 6 games. And they've got Burnley next at home. I don't know what they've got after that. But look, anything is possible, as we've seen. A lot of people said we were going to struggle with the games that we had, and we've taken 12 from 12. We win. I think Ahmad has the highest ceiling in our team, says Diego. Not a bad take. Excited for Wan-Bissaka versus Cunha and Burmo. Insane aura, says Rajaf. And we win a 5th game and end a man's career, says Barry. You know what? I actually quote tweeted it on my Twitter. I didn't realise. There's a guy, I said after his hair's cut, he's surely going to grow his beard. There's already a guy on day 108 with a beard. So I've said, grow your fingernails next. I mean, hopefully tonight ends the career. The reign is over, the career ender, whatever you want to call it. Hi, Mark. Any clue or info on Delit? Bad back, Amber Trip, and probably not going to be back for another few weeks. Yeah, so he's out. Right, thanks everyone who's tuning in. Nearly 20k legends already. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes before we're live. Now, don't forget, it says there, Boyle Sports, links in the description. They're sponsoring our watch-alongs, and we've got a bit of a bet builder for you, as we always do with the match day, courtesy of Boyle Sports. So this is my bet builder. A bet builder is when you take a few outcomes and put them all together in one bet. So I've got Man United to win, and Burmo anytime goal scorer, Mavropanos to be booked, and over 8.5 corners. Now I've been 50% on every bet builder so far. I'm confident this is going to work. Man United to win, and Burmo anytime goal scorer, Mavropanos to be booked, and 8.5 corners. I'm thinking it's going to work. I've also used my sub swap on my bet. So if any of my players in the bets get taken off, then my bet carries on for who replaces them. So if Mbermo goes off and Sesko comes on and scores, that counts towards my bet. If Mavropanos goes off and whoever comes on for him gets booked, that counts towards my bet. Talking about subs, by the way, do you know who holds the record for the most goals scored as a substitute in the Premier League history? Now, we all know Solskjaer is #1 super sub at Manchester United, but who is top of the pile across the entire Premier League for goals off the bench? No cheating. Drop your answers in the chat and I'll tell you about that in a moment. But if you don't know what a bet builder is, as I said, it's one bet combining a few things you expect to happen in the same game, like player involvement, goals, yellow cards, amount of corners, things like that. Get involved, and why not create your own bet builder? That's a bet builder boost on tonight as well, which is 50% boosted. If you place a bet on this match, you'll get a 50%, yes, 50% bet builder boost. Just make sure you select boost when you compile your bet. Over 18s, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. Now, answer to that question. Who has scored the most goals in the Premier League from the bench? And it's not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It is Defoe. And a few of you, it's not Nanny. It's not Nanny. It's not Mark Goldbridge either, Shane. It is Defoe. And a few of you did get it, which is fair play. BRZ Ben, I can see you got it as well. Very good. Oh, KZ did it on a super chat. I mean, you're definitely going to win. Ollie James as well. Well done. So I like that. A little bit of trivia. Also a former West Ham player, so it fits in with it. So Defoe is the Premier League's all-time top-scoring substitute. 24 goals scored after coming off the bench. I suppose you don't have to be... Sometimes it's longevity, isn't it? Sometimes it is longevity. You don't have to necessarily be a classical sub player. You might have just played long enough that you get subbed. There you go. Last time we were in the Champions League, Prattman let stupid goals in and we were knocked out. I'd love a good Champions League run, especially in new league system. Oh, mate, I can't wait to be in it. I really can't. That's why nights like tonight are so important. I can't believe Luke Shaw has played more minutes than any player for United this season. He's turned his fitness round. Love the show, says Raj. Palmer's assist for the Pedro shot is tough, Mark, says Rajaf. Oh, they're winning 1-0, are they? I don't know whether that means it's tough in the sense that it was good. But yeah, they are leading 1-0, Chelsea, against Leeds. Thank you very much, Rajaf. Good evening, Mark and the United Stand community, says Shane. If the boys get 5 in a row, I'll send 50 gifted memberships. I'm predicting 3-0. There you go. Let's see if you can remember that. Last time we're in the Champions League, we've done that. The one thing I'll give Carrick, says Slow Sports News, he's picking his 11 and sticking with it. Grow Sesko into the game to get used to the Premier League a bit more, says Slow Sports News. I mean, is anybody seriously thinking about starting Sesko over Mbermo? I mean, look, it's not that deep. But that miss at the end, he could have gone and done his shopping, controlled it and put it in the bottom corner. I mean, you can't drop Mbermo for Sesko when he misses a chance like that. Chelsea just went ahead, so we must win tonight, says Doug. And Mark, shout out to my son Rian. He's 15. He's at the stadium tonight with his mum. He's travelled from the US, New Jersey, for Man United versus West Ham. First trip to England, first time seeing United live. Absolute dream come true, says Monmouth. Where are you? They left you at home. I feel sorry for you, but yeah, great game. Hopefully he's going to get a win as well. Who will score? Name at least 2, says JB. What if we score 1? Well, Mbermo's scoring tonight, and I think Cunha will score tonight as well. That's my prediction. Mike JW is gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much to Mike. You're a legend. Con says, did you see Simon Jordan against Eni Aluko? To be honest with you, Terry did a video on it. Alice Talks Football did a video on it. My local dog did a video on it. I couldn't give a shit. I personally think doing videos and interviewing Eni Aluko gives her exactly what she wants. Oxygen. I ain't got no interest in it. And I think sometimes people don't realise this. They moan about somebody having a platform to talk about stuff and then talk about it. And I just think, I ain't got no interest in it. I've got no interest in it at all. I'm not giving it oxygen. Excited as well, says Rajaf for Wan-Bissaka. Watching at 4 a.m. from Hong Kong. Let's go United, says Jeremy. Yeah, let us know where you're watching from. Andries says, giving Sesko the time to settle in slowly is a luxury our young strikers haven't had in years. I think it's a huge positive. Well, yeah, Andre, if you look at Rasmus, he had to play every bloody minute of every game because there was nobody else. I think he massively would have benefited. I mean, look, I'm not saying Rasmus is better than Sesko, but I think if Rasmus had come into this situation, he'd have been a better player for it. Learning from the likes of Mbermo and Cunha, Bruno in behind him, instead of having to, watch people like Anthony and Rashford and Garnacho just shoot from all angles. But look, the game is the game. United Kitchen TV says, I'm excited about this game. I'm proud to be here on the United Stand. You are the father of us all, including us at the United Kitchen. Let's go, United. This is going to be a fun game. It'd be nice to win it 3 or 4-0, wouldn't it? I mean, I'd take any win, but it would be nice to win it by a lot. I hope we win. My birthday's on Saturday, says Jacob. Valentine's Day. Birthday on Valentine's Day. Why did they not arrange a friendly in this break, says Shank. Apparently that's off the table now. We're not going to do any warm weather training, which I think would have been a good idea. And we're not going to do the Saudi stuff, which would have brought some money in, which I thought was a good idea. Kazim says, I've turned 35. Can you wish me happy birthday because I'm a narcissist? Well, you don't need to be a narcissist to have a happy birthday. You're part of the community, mate. Happy birthday. Daniel Thompson's gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much for that as well. And Mark, did you notice that the build-up phase, Carrick almost always plays with a back 3? System was never the problem. Champions League football incoming, by the way, says Senor. Monmouth, thank you very much for joining the members club. I see you as having a lot of the ball. I'd personally swap Delo with Ahmad to allow overlaps, having Burma on the right, Cunha on the left, Sesko up top. Yeah, I think this might actually be the first game where we do have a lot of possession. I think we predicted we would have a lot of the ball against Fulham, but we didn't. I think we predicted we'd have a lot of the ball against Spurs, but that was because they went down to 10 men. Before that, we didn't. But I think we traditionally will be playing against the low block today. So let's see how we do. Please call my friend Aaron a prat, says Jag. Saw this on Twitter that De Ligt not being involved, there's something to do with his wife. Makes sense that the club has been silent about this issue, says Karan. Yeah, but you don't want to believe stuff like that. Did you hear that story that went out about Nunez when he missed the Man City game and somebody posted it that he had cancer or something like that? And then he's been playing for the last few games. So don't believe rumours on Twitter. Shout out to John from Belfast up the United Stand, says John. Are you John from Belfast, John? Your dog did a lovely video and I subscribed, says Mazraoui. Have a great day, everyone. Love from Brazil. Let's get it, says Sleeply Less. Oh, Brazil. There we go. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. What would you do if you couldn't grow your hair instead? Oh, the next challenge. I think, grow your pubic hair and then you've got to film yourself how it's growing every single day. That'll get you cancelled. Sean Johnson, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Watching from Singapore, it's 4 a.m. Hope we get 5th consecutive win, says Jeren. And thank you very much for that. And just finished building my Lego Old Trafford and it's beautiful, says Porf. How big is it? Don't know why I'm doing that. How big is it? I have got one somewhere, but I don't know how big it is. Yeah. Delo is Carrick's cousin, says Civic. Let's get this stats carousel rolling round, actually, because this makes it quite interesting now. With Chelsea currently beating Leeds, they're up to 4th, 2 points ahead of us. I'm not that bothered about that. I mean, I am. I don't know what Chelsea think they're doing. Who said you could go there? But look, obviously I want us to go back to 4th. I think it's good to have some competition. But as I said, the big thing for me is 5 points ahead of Liverpool. They're going to Sunderland tomorrow. Sunderland haven't lost a game at home all season. So their minimum draw puts them on 40. If we win, we're on 47. That's 7 points ahead. If they lose, we're 8 points ahead. So that, to me, is the prize. Winning puts us back into 4th. But that 6th place is Europa League football. And the further we can get away from that, the better. And also, I think, winning 5 games in a row is great. However, winning away games, we've been quite good at home. Gonza has gifted 20 memberships. You're an absolute legend. Thank you very much. Please do share the video if you're watching, by the way. We've got nearly 30,000 watching. Musty says, I love this community. I've just turned 22 and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Genuinely, thank you. You don't know how much of an impact you have. Well, the community is fantastic and it's great to have you part of it. Drinking every day until United win 10 in a row, says Denver. When was the last time Man United actually did win 10 in a row? There's a question for you. I've just had a message from our United Stand group chat. Can you let Ricky in? I just said, will do. They're literally about 2.5 hours away from me, but it's comedic. Same team again. Any chance we become predictable, says Blockchain. I think when you're playing one game a week, there is absolutely nothing wrong with playing the same team week in, week out. I think if you're playing 2 games a week and he's picking the same 11 every 3 or 4 days, then I do think that would be a little bit interesting. But look, I haven't got a problem with it, if I'm being completely honest, because we need to win games. And also, Michael Carrick isn't actually here to nurture, Yoro, play Mazraoui. He's here to win games. And I think people sometimes forget that about an interim coach. An interim coach, in many ways, is more simplistic. You don't need to think about, oh, am I stopping Yoro developing or Heaven developing? Is Maguire going to be here next year? You just pick the team that you think's going to win, because that's your job. So I don't have a problem with it at all. United's longest league winning streak ever came way back in 1904-05, when they won 14 consecutive league games. But that's over a century ago, and it's not in the era of modern football. So I don't know when the last time. Yeah, Ricky's been outside in the pissing rain for 10 minutes. Oh dear. Shall I do a laughing emoji? I'll do a praying emoji. That's not acceptable. That's like Dirty Dancing when Patrick Swayze goes over and says nobody puts baby in the corner. No one leaves Ricky in the rain. In fact, that's what you get for slagging off Bruno. I actually agree. Leave him in there for another 10 minutes. He can stay out there for 20 minutes. If you slag Bruno off, it's Marty Pello time. Wet, wet, wet. Rain is all around you. That's what you get. I'd be out the window going, that's what you get. I'll let you in if you admit Bruno's the best player in the league. I won't. I'm not doing it, Mark. I'm not doing it. Well, you'll be out there till you've drowned then, because I'm not letting you in until you say Bruno is the best player in the league. I'm not. I won't do it. I'm telling you now. I won't do it, Mark. I won't. Luke Shaw's the best player in the league, right? Another 10 minutes. Come back. No, I'm not. You're not happening. It's not happening. Camilla says 10 wins in a row, and Mark shuts up about New York. I haven't mentioned bloody New York in about 10 minutes. I haven't mentioned it on this stream. Palmer's getting into his flow, says Max. He's a fantastic player. He's a fantastic player. Timmy Boy says, hello, Mark. Remember me? How are those bad ingredients getting on now? Thankfully, Amrim has gone. Chef's doing good with the bad ingredients, says Timmy Boy. Nah, I know what you're trying to say, Timmy. So you think this team is going to win as the league, do you? Amrim's job, or any manager's job, is to build a team to win the league. Like, this team ain't going to win the league. This is an interim coach playing the way these players want to play, and they turn the light switch on. If you think it's something more than that, come back in a year's time and we'll have that debate. We go third if we win, not fourth, Mark, says Aaron. Fair play, well done. You're right, you're technically right. At what point do you think Sesko gets a start, says Wizzle. I couldn't care it. I don't care about Sesko getting a start. It doesn't keep me up at night. I don't wake up at 3 in the morning going, oh my God, when's Sesko going to get a start? I don't care. He's young. I don't know why people are bothered. This is not like Ahmad and Mainu. We don't need to get a free Sesko t-shirt out. It really doesn't matter. He's a good player, but he can wait. If Cunha scores, do the dance, says Parker. Not with my back. Hi, Mark. Would you still prefer Gyökeres over Sesko? I like Gyökeres, so stop trying to make out that I'd swap it. I still like Gyökeres. Sorry. Watching from Australia, kick-off at 6:15 a.m. here, says Chris. What about Vitinha when we finish top 4, says Scott? You're having a laugh. Have you got the oil ready, says Alex. He's always on about the oil. Marlowe's in the house. Respected Marlowe. Mentality has been the biggest issue since Sir Alex left. Rashi, Garnacho, Lingard, Martial must take a big part of the blame. Luckily, Cunha and Mbeumo is guiding us on a new and better path. Who would have thought it? Hey, Marlowe. Buy hungry, experienced players of the right age and they will take you to the next level. I think if you take Mbeumo and if you take Mbeumo and Cunha out of this team and you replace them with Sesko and Xerxes, we're struggling. I think they are very important players. The bloody haircut will cost us the game. The global media coverage today has set us up for the biggest bantering ever, says Maz. Keep up the great work, Mark. Got a lot of love for you. Keep doing this for at least 30 years. I'll be 76, Has. Jacob says if we win, we go third. Sorry, that's on me. That's on me. So I got that one wrong. So apologies for that. Yes, Chelsea are winning at the moment, but we haven't kicked off here yet, and we are kicking off in about 5 minutes' time. So very excited to see how this pans out, and I think that hopefully we get the win, because I want to just, you know what? Haircuts, 5 in a row, banter, whatever you want to call it, genuinely don't care. The only thing I want to celebrate tonight that is actually relevant is that gap between Manchester United and 6th, and more importantly, Liverpool. When we win tonight, if we win tonight, I'm not going to be thinking about bloody hair clippers. I'm going to be thinking about friends who are Liverpool fans and an 8-point gap. Lawrence McKenna, grow your hair long again because you're going to be depressed. 8 points behind Manchester United. Forget about it. It's over. It's Al Pacino times. That's what I'm excited about. Liverpool, a genuine rivalry. Manchester United, 8 points ahead of them. Tonight is a symbolic night. They've got to go to Sunderland tomorrow, and it's an 8-point gap to 6th. That's all that matters. Liverpool are our biggest rival. We can bury them tonight. They won't come back from that. Big time. Mark, I'm here with them players. They want a pre-match pep talk. What you got? Says, hey, I'd leave it to Carrick. He's doing a good job. This is a great situation for Sesko. There's no pressure as well, says Denver. I think that's a hot take. I think that's a very hot take. We're getting goals and we're winning games. He can just come on and relax. Yeah, well, look at the miss at on Saturday. Like normally you miss a chance like that. Rasmus misses a chance like that last year, and you know it's a huge issue. But because he doesn't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, does it? Thanks everyone who's watching. Over 30,000 already before we've even kicked off. Share the video, get involved. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Love that. Will you be my girlfriend's Valentine, says Havertz. Send us a picture. No, I'm only joking. Mark, I'm here with them players. Done that one as well. Great situation for Sesko. Denver, what a great comment. I meant it objectively. A good time to start him, says Wiz. Last time United won 10 in a row, it was mid-80s with Atkinson as a manager. They won the first 10 games of the season and they fell off. How did Ray Suarez? I remember that season. Well, not vivid. I remember, you know, when you used to watch like the story of Man United. I remember that. And any chance of an Agadoo today? It might happen, Quinton, actually. If we win today, it might happen. My big excitement and motivation is that we'll be 8 points ahead of Liverpool. That's over. That's all that I'm bothered about. But you know what? Wizil says, meant it objectively, a good time to start him. How did we not win the league if you win the first 10 games in a row? That's incredible when you think about it, isn't it, Ray Suarez? Why not get Rodrigo from Real Madrid, naturally a top left winger? Well, he nearly did come to the Prem, didn't he? To be fair. Right, we're about ready to start here. If West Ham get relegated, would you sign Bowen? Says Parth. Well, it's Carrick, you know, says Ronnie. They've just said 2023 was the last time we played the same 11 3 games in a row, says Jack. I mean, I think you can do it when you're not playing midweek, as I say. Don't have TNT, so I'm watching the watch-along, says Teddy. Thanks, pal. I want to do the Christmas meow trick on Ricky, says I am Joseph Young. And I'd love to sign Kalinoglu from Inter, says Mr. Scally. He's got to be getting on a bit now. Can you call my girlfriend a prat? She supports West Ham. Come on, United, let's get 5 in a row. There's got to be a joke there, Sonny. Well, let's hope she's not blowing bubbles tonight. She's blowing... Anyway, the quality of this telecast is so shit, Mark, says Ran. What, West Ham? What is the United goal you have witnessed that you could look at on repeat for a week, says Marlow United? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the best goals I've seen have probably been on TV, to be honest. And I'm not very good about those sort of things. I mean, I've been to a few at Villa. I was at the game when Scholes scored that volley. But I guarantee there's a better goal than that I've seen. I used to go to Villa quite a lot to watch United. It's only down the road. Anyway, we're up and running. We're up and running. Compared to last time, let's say... I just want us to win this. In the next 12, I'm not greedy, says Pure Turnip. Shahin says, compared to this time last season, that's 37-point swing between us and Liverpool. It's amazing and it makes me happy. Robert, welcome to the Members Club. I wonder how much West Ham spend on bubbles each year. Apparently, this is a true story, Evan. There's a guy that just pops down Lidl every night before the match and just buys loads of fairy liquid. Hate this kind of odd hours. It's 4 a.m. in Singapore, but anything for my childhood team. Don't disappoint me. How's your day been, Mark? Says Dan. Good. Good day. Good day. I always look forward to United playing in the week. Fernandez is like when FIFA starts regens of real players. Timo Bruno says 1 inch wonder. Yeah, I mean, look. Have you regretted the tackies, Billy? Absolutely been fine. Jason Wilcox wants me to be his Valentine. Red Devils for life says Wesley. Will be a tough game, but I have faith. And not important, but I want Bruno to get an assist or 2 so he can break the record. And little fat Dosser is enjoying a special run. And having a laugh has gifted a membership as well. How many is Bruno away from breaking the record? I'd be interested to know that, to be honest. Yeah, keep an eye out. Obviously, Somerville's a good player for them. And we've got Luke Shaw here on the ball. Nice little play there. This is what we want to see. Nice little passes and movement, but that's gone out for a throw-in, a goal kick. I thought Bruno was 1 away from breaking the record. Everton are beating Bournemouth 1-0. We've got Everton next as well, haven't we? Chelsea are 1-0 up at half-time against Leeds as well, which has a slight impact on us in the sense that they've gone up to 4th. But look, honestly, West Ham have won 3 of their last 4. And they played very, very well. Here's Ahmad. It's tackled. They played very well against Chelsea in the first 45 minutes. And they broke away really good. But I don't think they've got the quality other than to break away. So if we deal with that, we should be all right. Matthias Fernandez is number 18 for them. He's on the ball at the moment. And they brought him in from Southampton. And he's very well rated. Here's Wan-Bissaka. First real attack from West Ham, but we've got loads of people behind the ball. It's a funny camera, the West Ham game. It makes because of it's so far away from the pitch because of the running track that it can't help but make the pitch feel very narrow. It isn't narrow. It's just how far away the camera is. It makes it seem narrow. So yeah, the West Ham team. I was just having a look at it there. What you got? Wan-Bissaka, Mavropanos, Disasi, El Hadji, Somerville, Potts, Soucek, Bowen, Fernandez, and Castellanos, who they brought in. Hermansen in goal as well, who I don't think is their normal goalkeeper. Here's Maguire. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. Please do subscribe. Nearly 40k of you already. And that's going to be a corner. Is he giving the corner? Yeah. Corner to West Ham. Areola usually. I'm going to predict that we strengthen the midfield this season, buy a winger and keep Bruno. That sounds all right to me, Andres. Quite like this close camera on the TNT broadcast, says 1 inch wonder. Absolute legend, says Andrew. Thank you very much for your super chat. 3-0 to United and 3 assists to Bruno, says one and only. I have to say, Keane's tackle on Elfie is up there with my all-time favourite tackles, says Quantum. Well, let's see how we deal with this corner here. I think they're going to put this right in on Le Mans, and he gets out and punches it, which is good. And Wan-Bissaka goes back to the keeper. West Ham are sponsored by Boyle Sports. So are we. Interesting. Should have let us do a bloody watch-along from the stadium. That would have been great. That would have been great. That's a missed opportunity. I just want us to win the next 12, says Pure Turnip. Yeah, it would be nice. Thanks for those super chats. You can do that through the $sign. Wan-Bissaka wins the ball there, but it goes for a throw-in. Could be a scrappy game, this. What are you doing for Valentine's Day? The clock is absolutely fine. It's right there. Den says the clock. It's there. What am I doing Valentine's Day? Well, I'll tell you what I'm not doing, and I say this every year. I'm not going to go and pay silly restaurant prices. And I like restaurants and bars and pubs, but at the end of the day, most of the time when you go to a restaurant and it's busy, the staffing levels don't go up and the chefing levels don't go up, so you end up getting your food late and it might not have the love and care it deserves. So I think I'll cook. Which is hopefully what Man United are going to do. Hope you're well and had a good day, Mark, says Daniel. You too. Oh, was that not a foul on Mbeumo? He's come back at him really well there. Good tackle by Casemiro as well. That's good tackle by Casemiro and good working back by Mbeumo. You want to see that. The clock is slightly out of sync, apparently. Okay, let me have a look. I've got 7:05. Okay, it's literally a second. Still a second. 12. There we go. Nah, that's bang on. It was 2 seconds out. So steady first 7 minutes here. As I say, look. We saw against Spurs, didn't we? Quite an equal game. And then the Romero red changes it. And I think where United have been really good recently is there's not really any panic. You can score in the 20th minute. You can score in the 40th minute. But as long as you get in front, scoring first. Have we gone behind under Carrick? I don't think we have we? Arsenal. We did, yeah. Yeah, good point. Not sure if you've... sorry, I'll come back to that in a minute. Let's see what happens with this. Lovely ball. He's a good player, this Fernandes, isn't he? He's quite tidy. Somerville. Funny team, West Ham. I really thought they were going to go down, but 3 wins in 4. Bit of a flick header there, just wide by Jared Bowen. I really thought they were going to go down, but in the last month, they've done all right. That was close, Mitch. This flicked header by Bowen. If that's on target, it's in. And both Maguire and Lemond, I mean, it wasn't close, but it wasn't far off. If he'd have flicked that into the bottom corner, no way was that getting saved. If Carrick doesn't stay next season, who would you like to take over, says Ewan? I think it's early days for that for me. I just want to enjoy the now and look at it in April, really. Joe Jackson, thanks for your super chat. Everton above Liverpool at the moment, says Rob. It's getting better, man. Score prediction, I went with a 3-1 win for Manchester United. Ben. GB Gary says Carrick's wearing the same clothes. Smart. Nice ball over the top. And Bruno puts it over the bar. I think he might have been offside anyway. He was. I hate those. Because you've got absolutely no idea whether he's onside or not. And then you start to think, yeah. It's not as obvious that he's offside, but I think he probably was just about offside. Not sure if you already mentioned, but who do you think can replace Casemiro realistically, bring someone else into the squad? I think Tonali, because he's a natural 6 and he's good on the ball, is probably the better solution at the moment. Alex says, good evening, United Stand community. First real test against the low block. What would you like to see from the team tonight in terms of pattern of play? I'm not that bothered. Obviously, it'd be great if we play well, but a win from a corner, happy. Seb Goldbridge says, Dad, you promised me a new iPhone if we beat City. It's been almost a month. You're a fraud. And I'm telling Mum, well, you're not having the real one. I was actually going to respond to that. You're not having a bloody phone. You're too young. What goal is that? I'm being shown. Newcastle. Oh, Newcastle are playing Spurs, aren't they? Half time. I didn't tell you about that one. Newcastle are winning 1-0 at Tottenham. Tau has scored. I mean, does that really matter? Neither of those teams, as arrogant as it sounds, neither of those teams are going to bother us, are they? Thank you, Daniel. Okay. Everton are above Liverpool. Somerville would be a great signing for the left side, says Brit Ace. Well, as I said on the show this morning, we're looking at Dembele. That's the one we're looking at, but we'll see how it goes. I wouldn't say it's a low block from West Ham. I think people need to understand what a low block is. This is not a low block from West Ham. So far, this is quite an, you know, when you think about the high line that Bruno nearly breached, certainly not a low block from West Ham. Well in by Martinez. As you can see, nearly 50-50 on the possession as well. So Bruno, we're looking for that ball. We're looking at that. We love that ball in behind. We're definitely looking at that. Can you shout out Rudy, please, Mark? Says Joe Jackson. Shout out to Rudy. Just got here. How are we playing? Also, stadium design is so strange. It's kind of off-putting. I'd hate this to be. I'd hate it if they did this with United. Somerville, good shot, good save. We've seen them go in. Fulham, yeah. I mean that. I don't know who's marking Somerville there. Delo. You can't let him do that. You can't let him do that. Delo would have been. It's a good save by Le Mans. That Delo would have got a lot of shit for that there. You can't let him cut inside and do that. Hi, Mark. Today's my birthday. Hope to celebrate it with a win, says Henry. Happy birthday, Henry. If United get top four, do you think the Glazers will spend, says Dino? Oh, you've got to, haven't you? Good clearance from the corner again. It's another good, decent ball out to Soucek. Hello. It's nearly a great ball by Casemiro, but defenders come across. Diouf is underrated, says Max. Yeah, he's the left back for West Ham. Will you be watching the City or Liverpool game tomorrow, says Ben? Well, we'll be live on That's Football from 7:30, and the featured game is Sunderland-Liverpool at 8:15, but obviously we'll get to watch the first half. Pap says we're not looking that good. I think we're fine. I think what we're looking to do here is counter. I think we're playing counter-attacking football here, which is surprising because it's quite intelligent by Carrick. We're sort of inviting the pressure on and looking to counter, probably because he knows that we are not very good against the low block. West Ham very composed on the ball. We will have to watch out for Somerville and Bowen, says having a laugh. Can you imagine how Onana would have managed to somehow sabotage us the last few games? Says 1 Inch Wonder. Nate Soccer says it looks like we're playing without a striker. I think Sesko would be a nice outball option right now. Well, he's still that option, isn't he? Thanks everyone watching. Nearly 50,000 watching already. Share the video as always. Nice ball into the channel here for Cunha. He will keep it in. See what we can do. Crossing the ball in is not. Oh, he's giving it away. A bit sloppy there. I think Cunha in a game like this is hugely beneficial because he can just get something out of nothing. Jonathan says I'm a Forest supporter here. Come on United. You've got Wolves tomorrow, haven't you? So. Yeah, you're looking for a favour from us. What place do you think we'll be at the end of the season, says Stick and Stone? I mean, look, I want us to finish as high up the table as we can, but realistically, as long corner to United here, this could be an opportunity to score. We're very good on corners. I want us to finish as high as we can. However, as long as we're in the top 5 and we've got Champions League football, I think that's the big key here. And I think this is really important. It may not have been the best first 16 minutes from United, but think about the goals we've scored under Carrick. We are very good at set pieces. And, you know, maybe people are sleeping on that, but we are a little bit like Arsenal. We can be not in the game. And we saw it against Fulham, two crosses, 2 set pieces. So set pieces can be really big for us. Maguire wins that on the back post. You see, look, I know he hasn't scored from it. He hasn't put it back into the danger area, but we're very good at set pieces. So even if we're not necessarily creating chances, if we can get set pieces, we're very good at them. And they are big this season. Big, big, big. I'm not interested in the bloody Milano Cortina, whatever that is. Nice ball into Bowen. That looked like a foul by Luke Shaw there, and he's given it. Yeah. That's I mean, look, we talk about, I mean, that is a foul by Luke Shaw. It looked like a foul, and it was a foul. To be interesting, I think that's quite an interesting strategy for anybody that plays us, transitioning on us. We like to transition, but transitioning on us down that left-hand side is not a bad idea. Luke Shaw's not as quick as he used to be. Martinez isn't particularly quick, neither is Maguire, so need to watch out for that. Right, cross coming in. Can Ricky do a watch-along with you, says James? I'm sure he could do. Forest supporter here. Come on, United, says Jonathan. Thank you. Right, let's see what happens with this corner. Cross for Bowen. We have defended set pieces very well because we're good at set pieces. That's what happens. We're a bit like Arsenal. We're good at defending them and we're good at scoring them. That's a crap set piece. That's a goal kick. Talking about set pieces and corners, we have only had one so far, but that is part of my bet builder with Boyle Sports. Link is in the description or scan the QR code. My bet builder today is Man United win, Mbeumo to score at any time, Mavropanos to be booked, and over 8.5 corners. I've also used my bet builder, a bet boost as well, to boost it by 50%. You can do that by scanning the QR code or going through the link in the description. And if you're new to Boyle Sports and you bet £10, you get £40 in free bets offer available as well. Details are in the description. You can scan the QR code, 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. It's half-time in the other games because they all kicked off at 7:30. Chelsea lead 1-0 against Leeds. Everton lead 1-0 against Bournemouth. And Tottenham are losing at home to Newcastle. I heard that United are interested in Kinte from Tromsø in Norway. Left-footed mid-defender, 18-year-old, was written about in England and Norway, says Mab. Yeah, I spoke about it on the show this morning. I can't say that I'm massively excited about signing another teenage centre-back, to be honest with you. We've already got 2. Maybe we should be looking to buy people who are a little bit more experienced, you know? Maybe. Just maybe. Yeah. Good back covering by Mbeumo here. He's playing more on the wing, Mbeumo, tonight. Here we go, some space for Cunha. Into Bruno, lots of space here. Cunha brings it forward. This is where we can rock. Delo. Over. It's gone out for a goal kick. Bad ball by Delo, that. He puts his hands up. He's overhit that in a situation where we should be doing a little bit better. Yeah, look, that's a simple pass. He shouldn't be overhitting that. It's a shame. Good position, good break. But look, I'm reasonably happy. I know we've got those match winners, and we've got that quality. Good tackle by Martinez. Yeah, we've got that quality in the team for games like this. But look, we've played a lot of games like this. Spurs was very equal for half an hour. Fulham was a very equal game for 90 minutes. So, look, the Premier League's very competitive, isn't it? So, obviously, it's nice if we can turn up and just turn people over. But quality, Luke Shaw's got a lot of space here. And that'll be another corner. Right, let's get this corner right. Let's get this corner right where we need it. Will Man United buy a defender in the summer or only a midfielder? Says Piz. Mate, I've got absolutely no idea what we're going to do in the summer. I think a lot of it depends on winning games like this and making sure we get into the Champions League. Off the line, another great corner routine. I think it was Luke Shaw. Oh, it's so close. Wan-Bissaka off the line. And it's another clever corner routine, look. Oh, I tell you what, should he have scored that? We got one of these off against Spurs. JB says, I love how Martinez steps up to the midfield. We're very good at set pieces because I think they're very scared of Casemiro and Maguire. And then if you play that quick corner routine like we did there, and we did against Spurs, it can catch people out. One Inch Wonder says, fair play to Delo. He's consistently rubbish. He's done well the last couple of games. Give him some credit. Have you ever played eFootball, Mark? It's a decent game, says Cosme. I haven't. I'll have to take your word on it. Come on, you Spurs, says, wish I didn't have to say it, but come on, United. You think you're in a relegation battle, don't you? A lot about hype around this game in the media with us being safe on the table. I hope the guys can keep the light switch on, says Spears. Thank you very much. For your super chats, you can do that through the $sign. We'll read those out. And I like what Carrick's doing, but sometimes you need different players against different teams. West Ham wouldn't be able to handle Sesko here, says Wee Bento. And do you worry the Glazers won't spend if you get top four, says Dino? No, I think United know they've got to spend. Lovely ball by Martinez into Shaw. Why doesn't Luke Shaw wear shin pads? I mean, he literally smashed his fucking leg 10 years ago. I've only just noticed that. He's probably been doing it for years. Why does he not wear shin pads? Mate, you snapped your leg. Brave. Don't know why I've never commented on that before. I suppose he's got a leg made of metal now, hasn't he? I suppose he doesn't need to. Interesting cross by Delo, cleared away by Wan-Bissaka. We're starting to get a little bit on top here. Having a good 5 minutes here. Do you honestly think Spurs go down, says Evan? Not unless West Ham start winning games like this. I know he's Liverpool, but I wouldn't mind Canate on a free. Nah, I don't want Liverpool players. I can't do that, Mazraoui. I can't do that. Not getting the ball to Ahmad enough, says Oscar. It's a little bit of a stretch here. Funny thing is, we never think about, I mean, it's way too early to think about it, but we never think about a 0-0, do we? We never think about a draw. Watching from Belfast, eFootball is the new Pro Evo, says Cosme. Another loads of space here for Luke Shaw. Cleared away. Cunha wants a free kick. I mean, I wouldn't mind a free kick, but I'm not so sure it was. Yeah, he did pull him back. No, maybe it should have been a free kick, to be fair. I don't know why he didn't give it. Give us a twirl, Mark. I've got my pyjama bottoms on. I just had a quick shower, so. It's a competitive game so far, says JB. It's tense, isn't it? It is tense. I mean, like, couldn't give a fuck about a haircut. Couldn't give a fuck about 5 games in a row. Really give a fuck about 8 points ahead of Liverpool. I don't want to give them a sniff of coming back. I really don't. These are the sort of games you've got to win. Shaw's like Wolverine, he's got metal bones, says Skippy. Fernandez for West Ham. We've got a bit of space here. Good defending. If he goes wide to Wan-Bissaka, it's a bad ball, thankfully. Good cross. Headed away by Delo, did well. I'm getting a little bit... Where's the red card for West Ham? Good play by Cunha. Nice switch of the play by Bruno. Can't chew some gum and drink a 0 sugar Coke, says Lewis. Can I chew some gum and drink a 0? You can do what you want, mate. Gaz says, Delo only crosses when we don't have our striker. Shay, you're a melon, according to Skippy. Right, and Burmo. I do think, I mean, it's very early in the game, so it's not really a hot take now. But I do think that Sesko in a game like this would be quite nice. When you think about, we've been down the right-hand side, we've been down the left-hand side, it would be quite nice to have that option in the middle occasionally, just to mix things up a bit, like we have done on corners. Like sometimes on a corner we'll put it in high, because you've got like Maguire and Casemiro, and sometimes we'll go for something a little bit different. When did the traditional Big Six get established? Can't imagine it was like that many years ago. No, it's a Premier League thing. Right, we've got a break here. Cunha. Into Bruno. And then Burmo wins the throw. Back into Bruno. Yeah, and Burmo definitely playing off the left today. Cunha used as the striker. Greetings from Bulgaria, says Alex. You're wearing the same pyjama bottoms as me. Dunn's best, says Eddie. I think mine are from M&S, which probably are linked to Dunn's. How on earth is Simon Hooper allowed to referee games, says Stig? Love your videos. Did you give consent to 442s to use your likeness because you're in a lot of videos, says GS Warrior? I don't think it's about consent. I'm not like that. I enjoy what they do, and I think it's I take it as a compliment that they use me, so I'm not. I don't mind I don't mind the out of context and the clips and stuff if it's used in a humorous way. It's when people take you out of context to try and get you in trouble. That's when I think you have to step in. How's the game going, says Matt? I'm all right with it. I think it's a very tight game, but I think this is like, again, I've said this a few times, like it's great that we're winning all these games because I think we've played a few games where we've played teams that have played well against us, and maybe you need that little bit of luck or you need that little bit of quality. And we've certainly had that. So I think these sort of games are... we've been winning these sort of games. Do miss Mashy in games like this. Simon, fair play. Fair play. If you know, you know. Nice ball by Mainu into Shaw. Into Cunha. And it's a free kick. Casemiro. Love says this will be an easy game. Well, it's not been an easy game so far. Would Wan-Bissaka have been a good right back for Carrick, says Wee Bento. I think with Wan-Bissaka, we all had our thoughts, didn't we, about whether it was Dalot or Wan-Bissaka, and I've got to say I felt Dalot was the better choice. But it was close, and I still think it's... You can't rewrite history. I said Dalot over Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka's done very, very well. But look, he is playing at West Ham, who are in a relegation battle. So there is... I'm glad he's gone and played football and done well, because there was a specific journalist who really went in on him and used to say he was late for training, didn't they? Wan-Bissaka. Somerville. Good tackle, Maguire. Good tackle, Maguire. He needed that. Luke Shaw moaning about the ball going out, but I'm not sure it did. Sorry, not Luke Shaw, Dalot. Play to the whistle. Not seen much of this Mavropanos. Not Mavropanos. I'm talking about the bloody striker, not the bloody centre-back. Not seen much of this Castellanos so far. Brought in January. Benches could be quite interesting for both teams. Not really wary of Callum. Well, Callum Wilson, obviously, for West Ham, can be a problem. Adama Traore for West Ham could be a problem. For us, Xerxes Sesko are the attacking options, really. Everyone else is the defender, apart from Fletcher and Agate. So, yeah. Bruno might be great at assists, but we would be so much better in possession without him. He's just losing too many easy balls. A serious talk. Oh, let's not start on Bruno. This is a good ball out to Somerville. You do not want him in this position up against the low. Good defending and a corner. Maguire's having a good game. I think he might have given a goal kick, actually. Yeah, goal kick. We need Cunha and Mbermo to get involved more here, says Adityo. Nice jumper, Mark. Don't swing that way myself, though, says Bray. It says Mun. Hi, Mark. Could you please wish my brother Daniel a happy birthday? The Pratt supports City, says George. Wow, I don't know whether he should... Well, I'll wish him a happy birthday, but come on. Why does he support City if you support United? This is why we need a City number 6. Casemiro, get Tonali is perfect for next season, Mark, says JB. I wish Balandorgu was playing, says Alex. You have to wear shin pads, Mark, but they're probably the size of a matchbox, says David. Not sure I like Ahmad and Mbermo this wide when they're most effective as inside forwards, but that's what we have to do when our wing-backs are poor going forward, says 1 Inch Wonder. Should we keep Michael Carrick indefinitely, says Stick. I think that's too soon. Have you screwed your back wall in properly, Mark, says Ewan. That sounds like a euphemism. Shahin says, I'm not worried. This is just how some Premier League games are, but I still feel like we've become too cautious to keep the record going, says Shahin. I think you're away from home. You've got to be... there's got to be an element of cautiousness in it. Look, I think this game's going to come down to who gets the best chance first, and I think going 1-0 up in a game like this is going to be extremely advantageous because both defences have looked quite good. So if you can get 1-0 up, I think it becomes... Maguire hamstring issue and now no Yoro. What are you talking about, Maguire hamstring issue? I ain't seen anything about. Maguire looks absolutely fine. Hoping for a birthday win for our lad. He watches each game with a bowl of custard for luck, says Zero said Studley. He can't beat a bit of custard. Harry has a problem, says Mull. Right, I haven't noticed that, so keep an eye on it. I can't see any movement. No, he looks all right. He looks all right. Does Substitutions get past Le Mans, says Cole. Mark, you're a handsome man and I love United stand. This might be the red wine talking, but who cares? Glory, glory United, says Nick J. We go up to third if we win because Villa play tomorrow, says Cybergamer. Carrick has some potential, says Minecart. Well, 10 minutes to go to half-time. Just in the other games, Newcastle are leading 1-0 at Tottenham, an hour gone. Chelsea are 2-0 up against Leeds, so it looks like they're going to get their win. Cole Palmer, I think, has just scored a penalty. That's 3 penalties in 2 games for them. Ahmad drifting out to the left. Bruno sloppy again. Maguire, as Hammy is gone, and Man United are playing terrible, says 92. I don't think there is an issue with Maguire. Gone for a goal kick. Watching the United stand since I started preparing for med school 10 years later, I complete my postgraduate residency. It's a long time we've been here, isn't it, Neil? Well done. Just wanted to share the news with you and the community. Well, that's fantastic. Postgraduate residency in medicine today. You've completed it. Well done, mate. Completed it, mate. Well done. Great to hear. You know, sometimes we hear about people who are no longer part of the community because they've died. So it's great to hear people getting married, births, children, graduations. Well done. It does not matter the manager, the formation, the system. We're so slow in build-up play and can't break down a low block for 13 years, says Stig. Eddie Mack says, nervous game, Mark, very slow. Imagine paying for a front row seat at West Ham and needing to bring a binoculars, says Alex. It is a bloody long way. Hi, Mark. First super chat, watching for 5 years now, says Abood. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Our team's after figuring us out, says Martin. No, I don't think so. I just think it's... Look, you've just got to score first in a game like this. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be chance every minute, does it? I know Dorgu has played his best football higher up, but I think Amrin was onto something. He'd be so good bombing forward whilst Cunha tucks inside, says 1 Inch Wonder. Look, Dorgu's future is yet to be written. Tuchel's in the stands, says Josh. Yeah, Dorgu obviously was playing fantastically well, Ballon Dorgu, before he got injured. But maybe he'll end up being a left-back. Hard watch, says PX. I do think Sesko in a game like this might be useful. I know a lot of you have been saying it for a while, and I do agree. There's a lot West Ham are showing us down the wide. And I do think that Delo should not be fucking about with it there. Lovely ball by Bruno into Shaw. He's got to do something here. Ahmad shoots wide. Not bad. Not bad. First glimpse at a shot on goal for about half an hour, to be fair. Lovely. This all comes from Bruno, though. People are saying Bruno wasteful. He takes 3 players out. Luke Shaw probably overhits this to Ahmad, to be honest. By the time it comes to him, the defender's there. We need to stop pissing about near the 6-yard box, says Kenneth. And would you, Mark, you would look the bomb in lipstick, says Isaac. Had a boy 4 weeks ago today, hoping for a win today, says Keenan. Well done, pal. Congratulations. And Just a Wayfarer says, if we didn't drop these silly points, we'd be second right now. We should have won those games that ended in a draw. It is what it is. I know, says Just a Wayfarer. Fair. What are we at? God, nearly at half time. Manchester United are piss and deserve to lose every game until the end of time, says Jim Bag. They were a disgrace. Also, Maguire has a hammy. No, he hasn't. Well, I don't know. I'm not seeing this. I think we're actually starting to get a good foothold in this game. My son was conceived to one of your streams, says Mitchell. Okay. Was it when I was going, get in, get in? These games were always the issue. Wait on Carrick, says Simon. Mate, people are getting way ahead of themselves. We've not even had half the game. We will get a big chance. Have West Ham created anything? No. Games like this is about patience. It's about patience and taking your chance. I wouldn't say West Ham look like they're going to score a goal. Of course, it could end up 0-0, but a long way to go. Somerville, you've got to be careful of him. Wan-Bissaka, just stay with him, Cunha. Bomb Squad says, are you watching the same game? How are Man United getting a hold? I meant like we're having a bit more possession, which I think is proven out by the stats, but you definitely want to score first. They are packing out the midfield, Marek, so I think that's why we're obviously going to get space down the flanks. Maybe Sesko. Who would you take off? Maybe Cunha. Put Sesko on. That's a good place to intercept. Come on, Bruno. Let's have a look. Oh, jeez. I thought it was going to drop to Casemiro. Would you... how do I help my 2 oldest sons understand they are automatically Man United fans? They seem to think they have a say, says Edward. Bad parenting. If they choose someone else, then have you got a shed? Basically, the one who if one of them chooses United and the other one doesn't, just spoil the United fan, and don't give the other one anything. Would you rather win the Premier League and the Champions League or Delo win Player of the Year, says United? I think you've answered your own question there. Right, Luke Shaw, come on. What the fuck was that? Wins it back though. Very quiet first half for Bruno, says Julian. Well, yeah, he played that lovely ball into Luke Shaw where we got the shot from Ahmad. It's going to be... Look, just going to have to be patient here. Nearly at half time. And he's blown. Right on 45. Bloody hell, I thought we'd at least get a couple of minutes there. Look, I think that you've got to be very careful what you say at half time, because as we've seen time and time again over the years, I've seen as be 2-0 down to Man City at the Etihad and people are saying Jose out, and then you come out and win 3-2. So you could put a completely different performance in the second half. However, this is what I mean when people start saying we've won 4 games in a row, give Carrick a 3-year contract. Like, we are going to have games like this, and we might go and win the game, and that will impress me more than being 2-0 up at half-time, because there is an issue here. We are not playing particularly well. The tempo is slow. We're not creating chances against a relegation team that's not really doing anything either. So both teams are cancelling each other out. Now, if this was Emery or this was Arteta, in the second half, you'd see something change to win the game. So I'm looking at Carrick now, and this is part of whether he gets the job in the summer. These are good, because I'm looking at Carrick and I'm going, what are you going to do to win this game? Because if it carries on like this, you might win it, but it's not going to be by design. It's going to be by maybe a little bit of luck again. So what are you going to change at half time? Are you going to bring Sesko on and use the width and put some crosses in? Are you going to try and put 2 up front and go a little bit more on the front foot? Are you going to occupy their centre-backs by using Mbeumo and Sesko and maybe losing Cunha? You know, there's all sorts you could do. Could you go to a back 3 and play with wing-backs and push them up the pitch? So I think that you've got to... He's got to make a tactical switch here, because it's too big of an opportunity to have an 8-point gap on Liverpool. And they are a relegation team, West Ham, and they're not creating anything either. I think the big key for me is that we've got in down the left-hand side quite a few times, and we've refused to put the cross in because you look in the middle and it's Cunha, it's Ahmad, it's Mbeumo. I think Sesko would be an interesting option. We need to win some set pieces as well. Like from corners, we nearly scored from Luke Shaw, and Harry Maguire won the other one. So we know we're good at corners. So if I'm Carrick, I'm thinking, let's try and win some corners. How do we win corners? We get the shots. So yeah, that's very interesting. Leeds have equalised against Chelsea. Big scoreline there. They were cruising. Okafor has just equalised there. They were 2-0 down, and that's a big result for us as well. That's a very big result for us as things stand. So keep an eye on that. Newcastle are 2-1 up against Tottenham. And Bournemouth have come back against Everton, who've had a man sent off. O'Brien's been sent off. So it looks like they're going to lose as well. Not that we do play Everton next. I was trying to see who the red card was going to be. Newcastle are 2-1 up. Gray equalised, but Ramsey's just made it 2-1. So, but that's a big result for us for Chelsea. Leeds doing us a big favour there, because look, they would only be a point ahead of us. No, they wouldn't. We'd be ahead of them because we're both drawing. We are fucked if West Ham scores first, says Ivan. I think that's a great point. I think whoever scores first in this game is gonna be hard to beat them. So, look, it's an interesting one. Personally, I think if Carrick wants the job, he's got to tactically find a way to change this game. He can stick with things the way they are and look to just hopefully get the winner. But as YT Fiend says, what does Carrick do at half-time determines my faith in him. I think we can win this game. I just think we need a couple of tactical tweaks. Tempo's too slow. We need intensity, says Coach. Let's see Carrick do, but Sesko and Mbeumo, says Azam. I win here, and that annoying fella shaves his head. Next, he could consider dreadlocking his hair until we win a title, says Spencer. They fell low to protect Maguire, says Michael. Time to take chances and push the tempo, says Alonso. No vision here, Mark, says Bradlow. And we need Sesko for sure, says Yusuf. We're doing okay. Back passes and low urgency, though, says Mario. Somerville's a concern. He's a good player, says Dean. And first half could cure insomnia, says Kia. Not the most exciting match, says Ross Stephen. And would you rather Wan-Bissaka than Delo, says Steve. I mean, look, I think it's close, isn't it? Bruno's been a bit quiet, says Julian Bennett. I also think as well, the observation around Maguire isn't just Maguire. Martinez isn't particularly fast, and Luke Shaw's not particularly fast. So it probably leads to a fair conversation about we can't push too high anyway. We can't press West Ham as high up the pitch as we would probably do at Old Trafford, because when you're away, you've got to be a little bit careful. And obviously, we don't have a lot of pace at the back. A target man up top would help this game. I don't see the value of Cunha and Bruno both playing in this game compared to the previous 2 games, says Adam. Thank you very much. Good comments. Is the forum watching the show? Hi, Beth, says Parker. I don't know. Sack the manager and replace him with Ollie. Carrick has had enough games, says Jim. Would you be pissed off if we lose, giving Liverpool a chance to catch up, or low-key okay with it to see how Carrick responds to a loss, says Jim. No. As I said, I don't give a toss about 5 games and all that stuff. I just think that I don't care how we win and get 8 points ahead of Liverpool. That's the most important thing. Are you going to do any watch-alongs on the new F1 season? And if you watch the sport, who do you think will get the championship? I don't normally do watch-alongs, Eduardo, to be honest with you, for that. They normally clash with the football. Freya says, love your live streams. Always makes my day. Thank you for being a light in a world of darkness. Well, I've never been described that before, but thank you very much. Sesko for Cunha at half-time, says Sat. I don't think Carrick's the sort of guy that makes early substitutions, but that's only based on 4 games. I don't know what he was like at Middlesbrough. What do we need to start breaking down a midfield properly? Tuchel's watching, says Nate. And these games were always the issue. Wait on Carrick, says Simon. Thank you very much. First goal is going to be absolutely key here. I think if you score the first goal, you probably win the game. I think the game is going to open up and become end-to-end at some point. We just got to stay in the game, says Shahin. And it looks like both teams are too scared to open up and concede first, making the game slow, says John. Fair observation. Why are we playing so much slower and lethargic, says Aidan. Maybe we're not used to 2 games in a week. Looks like both have done that one. I like this game. It's going to open up, says Shahin. Thank you. The game is getting congested. Cunha and Ahmad need to stay wide. Widen the lines, create more space, says Mark. What would your plan be if you were manager of United, Mark, right now, says James. Robert Sanchez is so bad, says Bear. I've said it so many times about Chelsea and the goalkeeper. Look, I think we might win this on a set piece. If I was the manager, I wouldn't just allow things to carry on. Because you never know what Nuno's going to do as well. And they have got more pace on the bench. They have got people like Adama Traore. So I don't want this game getting stretched, if I'm being honest with you. So I think what I would be saying is, right, we're not creating chances in this game. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to bring Sesko on and just leave him up top as a focal point. Let's use him for the transition ball. Let's run off him for flicks. And let's get down the flank and put some crosses in. I think sometimes that's what a bench is all about. Sometimes you need a sub for an injury. Sometimes you need a sub for fitness and someone's tired. And sometimes you need a sub for a tactical change. And it's nothing. It's no. You play 38 games and you play different teams. And sometimes you come up against a team and you just need something a little bit different. That doesn't mean it was wrong not to start Sesko. I just think the way the game has panned out, we are getting a lot of ball down the flanks, and it would be nice just to whip a cross in and cause a bit of mayhem, you know? Need Sesko on and crosses into the box, says Azure. Getting into good positions out wide and then always coming backwards. Exactly. Andre Gomez says, I don't think it's a problem of intensity, as some have said. I think there's been so many misplaced passes and not playing calmly, but I think we might win this. Need some changes at half-time. Yeah, I'm not unrelaxed about it. I think some people in the chat do overreact. Look at the possession. We've had 59%. We've had about the same amount of shots and the same corners. It's a very equal game. You'd expect to have a little bit more than them. But look, we're not in a bad position. We're not losing. We're playing away from home. They're desperate not to lose. There's a lot on it from their side. I mean, Leeds have just come back down from 2-0 down against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So look, don't take the Premier League for granted. And it's a very equal game. And sometimes it's about finding a way of winning these games and saying, look, maybe we didn't deserve it. Maybe it was 50-50, but we won. And Burmo slow on the ball, can't resist the press, says Kay. And we could put Cunha on the right if we bring Sesko on. And Slazy says, I feel this is Carrick's first chance to show he's more than Ollie ball. Can he make the correct changes? It is. It's a good chance for him. And our manager needs to teach these players how to play through a high press. Been a problem for years and years, says Ty. Isaac says, easy win. I don't think anyone said it was an easy win. U2 Fiend says, what Carrick does at half-time. determines my faith in him. Well, there we go. Well, yet again, I feel like it's the Goldbridge bet builder curse, because I'm absolutely bloody miles off on my bet builder again. What did I say? Let me just get this here. So where is it? Here it is. So I had Man United to win, and Mbeumo to score at any time, Mavropanos to be booked, and over 8.5 corners. Now, by my estimation, I'm not on any of those, and we have had 4 corners, though, so I might be on the route. Look, it can change. It can all change around in the second half, but I'm not doing particularly well again. Of course, with Ball Sports, you use their sub-swap feature as well. So if Mbeumo goes off for Sesko and Sesko scores, that still counts on my bet builder. And if Mavropanos goes off and the player who comes on for him gets booked, that gets counted as well. It carries on with the replacement player instead. Thank you very much to Ball Sports for sponsoring the show. And of course, it's 18 plus only. New UK and Ireland customers. Terms and conditions are in the description and on screen. Please bet responsibly. BeGambleAware.org. Still 2-1 to Newcastle at Spurs, still 2-1 to Bournemouth at Everton, and still 2-2 between Leeds and Chelsea, which is a very big result for us. And it just shows you as well that when you look at the league table as it looks now, nothing is guaranteed in this season. We're both drawing. And if Liverpool went and won at Sunderland, it congests things, doesn't it? So look, let Chelsea do what Chelsea are doing. Let Chelsea bottle a 2-0 lead at home. We have to find a way, because you don't want to open that door up to Liverpool tomorrow. You don't want to do that. You really don't. Shaw's got no options for the cross, no risky passes that match the numerous box runs in, says Abdi. Also Mazraoui for Delo, who looks shaky in defence, says Omar. Bruno needs to be more proactive and runs from behind due to congestion, says Azam. Look, I think Casemiro and Mainu are having a steady game, but it's hard for them to do anything because we're not really on the front foot. I think both midfields have cancelled each other out at the moment. We need to win, or else it's going to be a long 13 days. It will be huge for mentality and confidence, says Jake. Benji says, everyone who's panicking, relax. Every game's different. Completely agree. My grandma is a better goalkeeper than Sanchez, and she's dead, says Bear Crawl. What about Xerxes in this game, says Naman. I mean, you don't know. I was saying on the bench, West Ham have got Callum Wilson, Adama Traore. They could be interesting subs for them later on. Attacking wise, we've got Sesko and Xerxes. So these players can make a difference. Omar says, sacrifice Ahmad for Sesko. No danger coming from our crosses, says Omar. And Rudy says, I'd get Mazraoui on for Delo, look shaky, and get Sesko on for Mbeumo. Who would you say United's best player is at the moment, says Lol. Probably Maguire. Maguire's made some good interceptions. And Le Mans made a good save. But we're not doing enough in an attacking sense, are we? Do you like the ref in this match, says Bailey? Not really noticed anything, really. Michael's shoved a frozen Mars bar up his bum. Great. It's chocolate and bum. It's always a conversation here. Thanks for the super chat. Sesko on for Bruno. He needs a rest. I shouldn't laugh because you're actually called serious talk. We're not taking Bruno off. Killian, thank you. Joining the members club, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you for getting your badge in and supporting the channel. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are currently very close to 253,000. That should say 252. So we're about 100 away from 253,000. So please do click and subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Remember, we're live every morning at 10 o'clock. Live every evening at 8 o'clock, and we have a 2 o'clock show as well. So get involved with the biggest and best Manchester United fan community on the United Stands. You're all welcome. Second half is about to come. Players are just heading out onto the pitch now. It doesn't look like there's any... Well, there's no big guy there apart from Le Mans and Maguire, so there's no substitution at half-time. But look, there was a bit of a rhythm to that game. Let's see what happens in the second half, because we could see some change there. Hello again, Mark. Concerning our CDM situation, I'm confident Kimmich would be excellent to replace Casemiro, says Freya. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I mean, I do like Kimmich, but I don't think it'll happen. Second half is for resurgence. Tables should turn for us, says Amit. We've been cheeks this half, says Chilling with Robert. And we're not playing good, says Michelle. Thank you very much for that. How are you, Mark, and what position does Seb play? Eddie, he plays right side defence or centre midfield, but they only play... He's currently in an age bracket where they play 7-a-side. So they play a goalkeeper, 2 defenders. No, they might play 6-a-side. Goalkeeper, 2 defenders, 3... 7-a-side they play. Yeah. No changes at half-time for either team. We're not playing good. A little bit boring, says Michelle. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right. Players are about to come out. Sesko's sat down. Obviously, the TV cameras are feeling the same as us, that maybe he could be the key later on. Just waiting for the ref to start, and there we go. The clock is up and running. It's a lovely ball by Casemiro. And Bruno. And watch the low. If Ahmad can play him in. Maybe he should have played him in. I mean, maybe Ahmad thought, no, I'm not playing Delo in one-on-one, but it was possible. West Ham trying to dribble out. We want to see more of that. That's danger. And then a misplaced pass again. Better start by United this. Luke Shaw into Mainu. Little dinky cross. And no one's in the middle. I don't mind the cross from Mainu there, but it's a waste of time because no one's there. Maybe that's a little bit of a hint of... I don't know why Ahmad didn't play Delo in there. See what I mean? That was a... Maybe because it was Delo. Ref's letting the game flow a lot. I ain't got a problem with that. I ain't got a problem with that because I prefer a game that flows. I think that helps us better. Keep winning these 50-50s. Chelsea still 2-2. Only 2 minutes to go. Interesting to see if we notice any real change from United in these first few minutes. Such a great opportunity. Such a great opportunity to go 8 points clear of 6th. And it's Liverpool. If we get top 4, would you give Carrick the job, says Omar? Mate, for me it's too early. Depends how we play. Depends what we deal with. Depends what managers are available and want the job. Look, as I said, if Luis Enrique says that Man United, to manage Man United is my dream, then, you know, that's a little bit different, isn't it? Whereas if the option is De Zerbi, I probably would. Mark, and you and Bruno, my favourite people. Great bunch, mate, says Amit. Thank you, pal. It's a lovely ball into Ahmad. Now he's got a run at him here. Oh, that's good defending. That's good defending, that is. This Diouf guy. Somebody said in the first half he's underrated. He has had a good game against Ahmad so far. We will get the win. I'm confident, says Alex. Long way to go. I feel like this game's going to come down to whoever gets the first big chance and takes it. Like, whoever goes 1-0 up is... Oh, hold on a minute. We're in a bit of trouble here. Oh, so thankfully it's gone a little bit wide for Bowen. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's on Luke Shaw, that is. I literally was just saying whoever scores first. Whoever scores first is going to be in a great position. Why does Luke Shaw let... You know what? My son, don't let it bounce. Don't let it bounce. I mean, this is a fucking dirty protest by Luke Shaw. Absolute shit. He should be walking around with a bloody guide dog and a white stick. It's shit defending. You don't let it bounce. You don't let it bounce. Watch this. This is a nothing ball. Look. Don't let that bounce. Absolute shit. Absolute shit defending. You don't let it bounce. It's one of the basic rules. And then from this point, go in. Oh, I think Mainu's got to track that run. But our midfielders never track runs. We never track runners. I'm not blaming Mainu. He should track that run better. But it's a good finish by Souček. But that shouldn't happen. That should not happen. I'm not happy about that. That's shocking defending by Shaw. I told you he's not all that. Ricky! Bloody Ricky! I'll love how he defends that later on the fan forum. Right, well, bit of a mountain to climb here now. We can do it. Look, we want Carrick to be tested. You can't really blame Michael Carrick for that, though. I mean, he's played at the highest level for Manchester United. He's won numerous Premier League titles. I don't think he'll have played with many defenders that let the ball bloody bounce from a 50-yard ball. Oh, he stopped a corner there as well, which is what we bloody want. Nice to get a corner straight after they can score. Don't get Ahmad at all. Delivery isn't great. Can't really finish. Bit of a show pony. Would have been taken off. Cunha off for him, says John Bottomley. Marlowe says we're a bit crap today. The honeymoon period is over. A long way to go. Oh, here we go. We're back with a long fucking throw. I thought Carrick had banned these. Why is it saying 1-0? Why is it not saying 1-0 to West Ham? That's automatic, so I don't know what's going on there. It's definitely 1-0 to West Ham. I don't know why it's doing that. I'll try and get it changed. Apologies. Arrow says the manager bounce is gone and the light switch is flicked. It's a long way to go. Somerville. Well done. Well done. Delo and Martinez did well there. Offside anyway. Alex said we'll get the win. I'm confident. He did say that before the goal. And I literally said something as well, didn't I? 1-2 for United in Fergie time, says Alex. Look, we have scored late goals. Fullbacks are a big problem as midfield, says 1 Inch Wonder. Few people saying, what about Mainu? Look, we've never been very good at tracking runners from the midfield. And yeah, Mainu should do a little bit better. However, I just can't believe their left back under pressure whacks a long ball to our halfway line and we let it bounce and end up in a shit position. I mean, look, this is the thing about Luke Shaw. People get lost on his availability. How many games has he actually played well? Apart from maybe in October. I thought he played quite well in the back three in October, but since he's gone to left back, I think he's been okay. I don't think he's had a lovely feat by Ahmad. I don't think he's had a good performance for a long time. Go on, Mainu. Bruno, just dink it, dink it, dink it. Back post. Oh, unlucky. Hit it, Delo. Oh, unlucky, blocked. Go on, mate. Mbemo, keep it in. We need to put them under a bit of pressure here. You don't want, when you go 1-0 down, or 2-1 down, or 3-2 down, or when you go down, basically, you want to react quick and get the momentum, because if you get back to 1-1, they get nervous, and then you've got the momentum. But if they can stay 1-0 up for 10 minutes, you start to lose confidence. So this next 5 minutes is really key. And if you think about the Fulham game, 2-2, we scored very, very quickly. The Arsenal game, 2-2, we scored very quickly. So it is about responding. It's very congested. We've got to be careful about them breaking as well. I can't change the score because it's broke. It's 1-0 to West Ham though, definitely. I wonder if I can do anything. I mean, I can put a 1 in. It'll be a bit messy. Why is that not doing that? It's not 10-0, you cheeky bastards. Doesn't look very good, does it? Thing is, I can't take that off. Oh, he's getting a free kick on Delo here and a yellow card. Things are getting a bit worse. Delo's gone through the back of him. Fullbacks are having shit game tonight. Somerville. I thought he got the ball there. Bloody West Ham again. It's always them, says Jacob. The barber can put the scissors away, says having a laugh. No one to put the ball in the box to get Sesko on. Well, he is warming up, Jack, and I think that was the substitute at half-time that many of us were talking about. Get Delo off and empty his locker at Carrington, says 1 Inch Wonder. This is the response we wanted. Come on, United, says Gaz. 2 of my coffee cups just smashed right before we conceded. Just my luck, says Lieutenant Cunha. And started the second half slow as well. Need more urgency and a quick transition, says Emily. Can you change the score, Kyle? I think we're going to go manual in a minute. Mental mistakes again, Mark. Literally what's going on, says Alonso. Not a very good free kick from West Ham. Seen enough. Get Shaw and buy Diouf. Shaw's out, says Omar. Shaw only relevant because he's English, says Ura. And Colv says, have I ever criticised Shaw's defending? Oh, the score's updated now. There we go. Good stuff. Well, it's not good stuff. I wish it was 0-0. Jay says, I had said on X we would drop points in this game. This is inexcusable. We would have gone third. We're like Arsenal a few years ago. I'm getting a little bit worried. We need to turn this around, because remember what I said in the preview last night? I said, I predicted a red card for Spurs, and I don't want to be known as somebody who can read the future, but I have got a bad feeling about West Ham. Bruno's just been caught there. I don't think it's going to be a red card or anything like that. West Ham score and back to long passes and long throw-ins. Need to calm down and take charge, says Amar. First time I see someone use paint on live stream, says Alex. It's not a paint, it's I suppose it is. Chelsea have drawn with Leeds. So if we can get back into this game, at least we're not fourth. We can hold on to fourth. Newcastle have beaten Spurs. Maybe Frank out. Bournemouth have beaten Everton. That doesn't really matter. Chelsea result's good for us, though. They were 2-0 up. Needs to get Sesko on. Only half an hour. All out attack, get 2 strikers on, says Cottles. Well, we said that at half time, didn't we? We said that at half time we could have done that. Set pieces could be key, though. Look, we've got a chance to whip some crosses in here. We need to start winning set pieces and corners because that's where we've been very good this season. And you're not going to do that if you're not creating chances. We looked like Arsenal in the first half, played too safe, too many back passes, not enough progression, boring to watch and too relaxed, says Swallow. It's not just going to go our way today, is it, says Jet RJ. There's a long way. I think if we can equalise, the momentum's with us. Luke Shaw. Maguire. Go back to Le Mans, for fuck's sake. Oh, God. Delow and Luke Shaw is your last 2. You do not want that. Manager bounces over. Hey, calm down, calm down. It's too early for that. We need Sesko in. We got this, Mark, says Dimitri. Can we admit now that we are no better than under Amarim playing counter-attack because our players can't play expansive football, says Stig. The set pieces could be good for us. Back to factory settings, says Sam. Look, we're set piece FC. This will work. All right, watch out. Oh, Ahmad. The fans in the chat are really disappointing. Back your team when we go down. You don't have to go Carrick out every time a team scores. Long way to go, like I said, Plant Man. Carrick always takes too long to make changes, says Wayne. And at this point, Amarim would have brought on a defender. Seriously, we don't win games when we have possession. Can't break down a low block, says Tave. I don't even think West Ham have played a low block. What a goal! What a goal! Mainu, what a ball! What a ball! There you go. 1-1. Great goal. Or is it off? Oh. What's going on? Well, he's celebrating, so I don't know. Are they saying offside? Could be offside. Could be offside. I wondered. What a cross by Mainu. What a goal. I think it's offside. Hard to tell from that angle. Could be tight. You know what? I was ready to get up there, but the way Casemiro ran away from it, I just thought for a moment. People are saying definitely off. Well, I think when they take their time, it might be in our favour. Get in! Look. Oh. I thought I'm lip reading. I thought he said give the goal. Oh, fuck it up. Offside. I was lip reading. I thought he said give the goal. Fucking hell. Lovely ball by Mainu, though. That should give us a bit of confidence. It's a jammy offside as well. Wan-Bissaka's got no idea. Who finishes higher, United or Chelsea, says Oliver. Look, we've got to take that and build on it. Still half an hour to go. Thank you very much, David Pierce, for your super chat as well. Another corner to West Ham. Doesn't look like we're giving any haircuts away for free. Even the long throw is back, says Emma. He needs to get Sesko on quickly. That cross just shows. That's the way back. You know, I'd do something to Spurs way. Oh yeah, fucking hell, Spurs. You've got to be careful. Good cross. Fucking hell. Break. And Burmo. Oh, he's overhit it. Why didn't Mbermo play that a little bit quicker? Great day for Liverpool, says Sponge. I'm not having any of this. You're starting to get on my tits. I'm not having any of this because it's still so long to go. We've literally scored last-minute winners against Fulham, late winners against Arsenal, and people are saying great day for Liverpool. Shut up. It's not a great day for Liverpool because if we win, we're 8 points ahead of you. Have that. I'm not anxious. Sesko and Yoro. I mean, I don't really care about the Yoro sub, but the Sesko one. Martinez. Second ball. Anyway, Sunderland haven't lost the game at home all season, so... Luke Shaw. This is where you need Sesko in the team. We're going to get a lot of crosses into the box. But look, I completely agree with Yashi. She says this is the perfect game to test the character of these players. Will they rise or will they fold? Exactly. TVZ, thank you very much. Maguire's going off here. He must have been carrying a knock. He must have been carrying a knock. You wouldn't take him off. But look, good substitution, Sesko. 23 minutes. Sesko's a chess magnet. He loves chess. Sesko is a chance magnet. He's a bit like Darwin Núñez. Like he has... hopefully he's not as bad as Darwin Núñez. Cunha. Okay. Probably would have kept Cunha on. He's a match winner. But... yeah, Maguire, it's got to be injury because you'd keep Maguire on in a game like this. They're taking off their striker. Orlando says we could do with a change in midfield. I don't know. I think Mainu showed with that cross what he can do. Casemiro. Set pieces. Kashi says it's a great day for Villa. Right, yeah, it could be a good day for Villa. How are we feeling, everybody? Fucking, I'm anxious. I'll be honest. I am anxious here. Callum Wilson's on. Not too worried about their subs. Free kick. card. Well, the only attacking sub we've got is Xerxes, but you get into this position sometimes, don't you? I can't remember who the manager was, where you sort of realise, okay, you might... Bruno Fernandes has been booked. You sort of think, well, you're not going to make subs. You're not going to take Bruno. I can't remember what manager it was. It might have been Ten Hag, where you know there's a sub on the bench you could use, but then you look at the team and you go, well, he's not going to take him off. He's not going to take him off. He's never going to take Bruno off. So if you're going to bring Xerxes on, it's going to have to be for Ahmad or Mbermo, isn't it? Good play by Ahmad. Getting a corner for that. It's probably too soft for a penalty, isn't it? But given 3 to fucking Chelsea in the last 2 games, though, haven't they? I mean, when was the last time we had a penalty? Someone's going to say it wasn't that long ago. Oh, it's Fernandes for West Ham who got booked, not Bruno. Wilson, soon as Maguire goes off, Yoro needs to step up, says Aditio. Bruno, nice ball into Sesko. Fucking hell. Goal kick. United could have had a penalty. It would have been very soft. I mean, technically it's a foul outside the box, but you just don't get penalties for that. We're playing 3 at the back, says Yay. Why do we do this to ourselves, says John. Maguire just said my hamstring has gone, says Jake. I mean, look, I did my hamstring last year for the first time. You can play on. You can play on because it's warm after it's hurt. Doesn't mean he's out for 2 months. He might just have tweaked it, but you can play on, but it'll be bloody hurting him tomorrow. Hi, Mark. Say hello to my sons, Ollie and Michael, watching and listening in Shrewsbury. Cannot be with them as I'm in freezing Poland. Well, hello to Ollie and Michael, and that's from your dad, Thomas, and from everybody at the United Stand. I hope you're enjoying the game. We bought attackers to be able to break down low blocks, but nothing has changed, says Marlowe. Sesko to bring it level, Mainu to win it, says TC. We could do with one of those Mainu Wolves moments, certainly. Andrew Northey says, United, have it, Mark. Come on. I think it might be West Ham United. Opportunity for Yoro, though. Look, in games like this, you've got to be the winner. Go on, whip it, Luke. Oh, he had the chance there. Go on, second ball. Well in, Yoro. So what we've got to do now, just keep the ball in their half. Probe. I mean, Disasi can't get a clean sheet. I'm not having that. He's shit. This is the Disasi who went to Chelsea, isn't it? He can't get a clean sheet. It would be embarrassing. We're so conditioned to 1 game a week. A midweek game has slowed us down, says Nick. I think this is a great point. I wrote it down a few minutes ago. And I mentioned it at half time. Charlie McGeehan, thanks for joining the members club and getting your badge in. Appreciate you, sir. Thanks for supporting the channel. Centre-back sub while chasing the game is football heritage, says 1 Inch Wonder. We're so slow in the build-up. I'm getting angry, says Stig. You've helped Liverpool here, but they're buzzing, says Williams. There's a long way to go. Long way to go. I'm still looking for a win here. But we have got to be careful on the break. Look at Luke. Look at Luke Shaw. He's got no pace at all here. Bowen. And good tackle by Martinez. Oh, Sesko, you can't stand still in the Prem. I thought there wasn't a last man there. Lovely ball by Mainu. Come on. Loads of space for Bruno. One shot on target is simply not good enough, says having a laugh. I mean, Casemiro is playing very far forward. I think if they get a second, then the game is done, says Villa. Oh, mate, 100%. We're not coming back if they get a second. I mean, fortunately, they're not doing a lot of attacking. I can see Carrick was coaching the team when Ollie was there. This is Ollie ball all over again, says Stig. That's what Sesko can do, that. Twist and turn, edge of the box, got the shot off. That's something we don't see from Sesko that he's got in his locker. He's got a very good shot. Whenever we get the lit back, do you think Carrick would put him back as centre-back and take Shaw off and use Martinez in that position, says Lucas? I don't think we're going to see a change in left-back this season. This looks like an Eric Ten Hag game, says Ryan. I'd say this looks like a game from 2023. This lot always revert back to type. Well, look, I'm going to say it because at some point it'll happen, and hopefully it won't be tonight because we need to win. But lovely ball by Casemiro into Shaw, and headed wide by Mbeumo. You can't trust these players. I think people get too hung up on managers. When the light's on, we can beat anyone. When the light's off, we can lose to anyone. That's inconsistency. I mean, winning 4 games in a row or 5 games in a row is the pure definition of inconsistency because we're going, wow, we're back. But we know we're not back. We might win this today, but it won't change the fact that at some point we'll play like this again. I mean, it's like we haven't turned up. I'm not saying we can't win, but it is like we haven't turned up. No urgency. You can't believe it. You can't believe it, really, that we could play so poorly. Fucking hell. Is Keir Starmer cooked, says Wash. I don't know. I don't do politics, Waz. Need this win. Sick of United Strand's face, says Brent Silvertunnel. I've not even thought about that. That's a nice ball. Oh, Wan-Bissaka. Fullbacks have been poor today. I mean, they need to step it up in the last 10 minutes because those crosses into the box. I'd take Shaw out, put Ahmad at left back, bring Xerxes in. Shame Lacey was not in the team sheet. Also bring Mazraoui for Delo. As I say, Dante, I think the fullbacks have been really poor. Ahmad, come on. Delo, cross it first time. What is wrong with his crosses? Sam says we've played poorly. Sorry, Marlowe says we've played poorly last 3 games. Look, I thought Fulham played well against us, but then they lose at home to Everton, so maybe Fulham weren't that good. I thought Spurs did well against us for half an hour. Romero got sent off. It was 0-0 at that point. We won 2-0. So you can twist and turn any result. The problem with this game is there's no red card. There's no excuse. It's 11 against 11, and it's been quite poor. What we do in the next 10 minutes is, and we have scored a lot of late goals, so I'll reserve judgment, but what we've done so far has been pretty poor. And if I was Michael Carrick and it stayed like this, I'd be sort of like going, like, what's going on? Like, it's ridiculous how crap we've been. They're unpredictable though, aren't they? I don't think, you know what annoys me is, at half time, I'm sure Michael Carrick was saying, look, it might be 0-0, but we get the first goal, we'll win this game. We just got to battle it. You got to put the work in. And yeah, we haven't done it. Xerxes coming on. It'd be interesting to see who it's for. Personally, I'd do it for a defender, but it's West Ham on the attack at the moment. It's an interesting cross. Luke Shaw does get it away. Wan-Bissaka's cross. That's going to come all the way back to Somerville. We don't want West Ham having the ball here. Could be for Delo, yeah. Free kick. Let Xerxes in. He can hold the ball up, says Azam. I don't know why we're so slow and relaxed, says Shahin. And what Brono's roning at the ref for. Oscar says, we've been poor, but I won't lose hope. We've scored a lot of late goals. Casemiro and Shaw starting at the weekend and now midweek doesn't work. He can't pick an unchanged side after 2 close games. Delo off, Xerxes on. And Nick P says, lessons for Carrick. Was says, should Carrick get the full contract? But we shouldn't be talking about Carrick getting the job even if he loses this game, even if he wins this game. I think this is why I don't get involved in the Carrick manager job, because even if he comes back and wins, everyone will go, oh, give him the job, he's proved himself. But for 81 minutes, we've been shit. So if we get back into the game, does it really mean he's done enough for the job? If he loses the game, doesn't mean he shouldn't get the job. I mean, I don't actually think a lot of this is on manager. I think this is on players. Now, they might turn up for 10 minutes now. Hopefully they bloody do. Lovely ball into Casemiro. Goal kick. Delo is our worst right back ever, says Ailish. We've been way too slow, too many back passes. Amand final passes have been sloppy, no urgency, like they don't want it, says Emily. Well, no Delo for the long throw. 4th place equals best inconsistent team, says Niki. Look, we've still got a great chance of getting into the top 4, but obviously we've shit the bed a little bit. Thanks for all your super chats tonight. I think I have caught up on them. You can do that through the $sign. I'll read them out. Not one cross to Sesko, really. Well, Mbermo can put a cross in. Ahmad's gone to the left. He's naturally left-footed. Sesko's got to do better there. Clock's ticking down. CBT Westy, welcome to Members Club. And Hatter. Let's not forget this is 18th place West Ham, says Arhan. But they have won 3 of their last 4. I mean, I don't think West Ham have been that great. Emily Derry saying it's like they don't want it. Yeah, but remember all we've been hearing all week. Remember what we've been hearing for the last 2 weeks. Michael Carrick has reduced the training for the players. Everything's about the players, isn't it? You know, he's actually reduced the training. He's reduced the training sessions. And this is what you get, lethargy. I mean, everyone was like, oh, it's great what Michael Carrick's doing. He's reducing the training sessions. They get to go home earlier. Well, and then you get a performance like this. This is why you should never give the players what they want. Well played, Martinez. Brilliant. If this leads to a goal, that will be world class. No, fucking hell. It's a shame. It was a great turn. This game shows United are not a possession team. New signings really bad. That was from Grimlock. Marlowe says new signings really bad today. Frustrating again if we lose. An opportunity loss, says Eddie Mack. 1-3 still on, just like Mezzi and Vitality Sunday, says Seabass. Does Delo think defending is not allowed, says Jack. Honk, welcome to the members of the club. And are we out the title race if we lose, says Chris. We're never in the bloody title race, were we? Let's get real. I don't know why Delo's getting all the bloody blame as well. Does this make you nervous for Europe next year, says Colt? Let's get Europe next year first. I mean, if Liverpool-Sunderland tomorrow, if this stays the same, or even if we draw, becomes a lot more important than I wanted it to be. Look, I don't think Delo's been great. I really don't think Delo has been great, but... Oh, Wilson. Good play by Le Mans. He had to be quick there. That was great sweeping. I mean, Le Mans is probably man of the match for me. Unless somebody can do something crazy. That was brilliant sweeper keeping by Le Mans. In fact, I'm going to tweet it. Oh no. Adama Traore's coming on to renew his Martinez battle. Crazy how you thought yesterday we can win and we'll win the next 8 games. You got fooled once again by the ownership. There will never be any hope, says... Oh no, I'm not fooled by the ownership. I don't think there's a way back for Man United. I just didn't think the light was going to go out this quick. Oh, corner. Is the honeymoon over? Bad performance tonight, says I mean, look, we can still win it. 2 shots on target and no chances is crazy, as Marlowe. We can still win it. But we're getting into the territory where you'd just take a draw, wouldn't you? Unless we can score from this corner. Pushed away by the keeper. Ahmad. Go on, dink that into the back post. Nothing's going our way here. I'm sick to death of this club, says Stig. What is the point? It's like before. We have to drive home in the dark. They have no fight. No attacking ideas. We've been awful, says Isaac. Well done, Ahmad there. Ahmad is terrible. We've got no end products, says Alvin. Mavropanos there. That's a handball. Book Mavropanos. Although, we're not going to win, are we? I don't think. Double substitution here. That looks a massive stadium when they show that view, doesn't it? Fancy losing to West Ham. Well, player ratings, you can do that through the link in the description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. As things stand, we need something special as we approach the 90th minute. We've got to try and work an opportunity to put a bloody cross in the box. Go on, Luke. Mate, you're the left footer. Oh my God. Oh my God. Callum Wilson. Is someone actually going to corner? Why did he not square it there? Thank fuck for that. Fucking hell. I mean, look at Luke Shaw's pace. He's got none. He's slower than a dead turd. Seven minutes. 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Still time here. Squeaky bum times is 20. Ahmad can dribble, but his football IQ is 0, says Mr. United. All them wins before mean nothing now. Hey, mate, it's not over yet. Love-hate games. The dream is over. Weak subs show we've got no squad depth, says Julian. Come on, Le Mans. There's still time here. The show's the problem with no cups. The bench gets no match training. Sesko and Xerxes look really rusty. Go on, put a cross in, Bruno. Oh, why aren't we putting a fucking cross in? And they're breaking away again, West Ham. This worries me. Adama Traore. Oh, corner. Great block by Yoro. Not showing up tonight. No second balls, no fight. Did they leave the team on the bus? Carrick's first loss like this is disappointing, says M. And apart from that Maino cross, our crossing has been shocking, says Matt. I think Yoro makes a great recovery tackle here. I mean, if we get a point out of this, that tackle. Liam says this game proves we need a manager who can improvise tactically. Liam, thank you. 29. Where's Ricky? Sure is crap and Delose. Ricky is on the fan forum tonight, so I'm going to be very much watching that. Sushek's popularity on gold. Yoro's had 2 amazing blocks, says Marlowe. Go on, Bruno. Good cross. Oh, Xerxes. So close. Get more crosses in the box. Get more crosses in the box. Why are we? Why now? It's a good header by Xerxes, just wide. I don't think we've been putting enough crosses in the box for the last 20 minutes. That's one of my things as well. Still 3.5 minutes here. look, whatever happens, I think the first goal was always going to be key. And Wilson's going to be offside there, surely. He's offside. Big save by Le Mans, offside, yeah. Whatever happens in this game, I think it just comes down to that stupidity from Luke Shaw to let that ball bounce. It was a long ball from Diouf, and to let that bounce was criminal. It was such a nothing ball. It was basically a clearance. We must build something new without Bruno, says Keel. Squad depth isn't there, and that's on the board, says English by Eddie. This is what a good vibes coach gets you. Need experience as turf. Whip a cross in, Martinez. Whip a fucking cross in. Go on your left foot. Curl it in. Goal, Sesko! Get in! Get in! Get in! Get in! Get in! Get in! Right on, that's it! Get the cross in the box! Get the cross in the box! Get the ball back to the halfway line! Let's go, Sesko! 1-1. Brilliant. That's, well, look, I think it's been that type of game. It's been that type of game. Look at how many you've got in the box there. Lovely goal. Lovely goal, the way he gets across his front man there. Yeah, what a goal. Right in the top corner. You don't save those. That's a brilliant finish. Whew. Is there time? A minute to go. We've done it before, you know. Let's not fuck about. West Ham, still 30 seconds to go here. Go on, Ahmad. Oh, thought we were going to do it there. No, my heart's in my mouth here. Yoro goes long. Still time. Come on, ref. One at the moment. And it finishes 1-1 as well. Look, I mean, look, that does, you know, I don't know what that does really. I mean, it's not a loss, is it? But I think it's a reality bite. We'll talk about it in the match reaction. Probably a fair result, to be honest. If you think about the Casemiro goal that was marginally offside, I think a draw is probably the right result. But there's a lot to unpick there, isn't there? There is a lot to unpick. I mean, I don't feel sorry for West Ham. I know they're all moaning and everything, but ultimately, I think that league table, 6 points ahead of Liverpool, could be an opportunity. It's not the end of the world, but I think there's a lot to unpick there, isn't there? There is a lot to unpick in relation to. It was poor. It was poor. I think the players have let Carrick down there. Is my initial reaction. They've done well to get a draw out of it, but it just shows you that light can go off. That was not what we've seen for the last 4 games. maybe 2 games, maybe, I don't know. But look, we'll talk about it. We'll do the player ratings. Get over onto the match reaction. I'll see you over on the minute. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks to everybody who subscribed. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. And we'll see you over on the player ratings. And I've took some notes. You know, look, Leeds have took a draw at Chelsea, haven't they, as well? So look, there's a lot to talk about. See you in a minute.